What's going on, guys? This is Jack here, aka the Fitness Butler, and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since I've made a long video. There's a couple reasons for it. I wanted to make a few quick announcements before I get into the video today. First things first, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I mean, to be honest, I know it's only small, the channel's still very small and it's still growing, but I'm just so happy to hit the goal. I started the channel 3-4 months ago, and I thought by the end of 2021 I'd love to have 100 subs, and we're here in May, like 3-4 months later, and I've already hit the 100. I think actually whilst recording this video I'm on about 107, 106, something like that. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you recently for all the views on the shorts videos. I've been making lots of YouTube shorts, you know, like workout tips and comedy sketches, because I've noticed that the shorts get pushed out into the YouTube algorithms more. So obviously it's bringing more views, more people into the channel. So I've been kind of focusing on the shorter, snappy kind of content. But I thought I'd make a long one today, primarily to thank you for the 100 subscribers. And also, the title of the video, obviously, is that I trained my calf muscles for 100 days straight. So basically, I was inspired by a couple other YouTubers that I've seen do this. I think Back Guy was the one that kind of started off the trend. And there are a couple of other sort of smaller YouTubers that also tried this out as well. So I was heavily inspired by those, and I'll be sure to link their videos in the description. My calf muscles, in my opinion, are probably my weakest body part. Genetically, I've just got very, very small, lean calf muscles. I train them like I did every other muscle, twice a week. So I'm on a push-pull legs split, push-pull legs twice in a week. So I train my calves twice a week with what I thought was a decent intensity, you know, like with different variations, progressively overloading the muscle. And my calves just never seem to grow. It's the only muscle in my body that I felt like has not responded to any training I've done. So I guess the purpose of doing this was to see if it would work, if I could put any size onto my calves at all. I obviously gained some strength along the way, and what I'll do is I'll show you the program I followed and how I progressively overloaded, and I chose specific amounts of volume to basically allow for the frequency of almost training every day. I obviously implemented rest days within there's probably about 10 to 12 days of the 100 that were a rest day, because there were days where I had quite bad DOMs, like muscle soreness. But apart from the rest days, I pretty much trained consistently, gradually building up the weight or the intensity, the reps, and progressively overloading the muscle throughout the 100 days. So first things first, I'm going to show you the plan that I followed. So as you can see, I started off initially with lots of body weight work, and it was just kind of building up the strength in my calves just with body weight. And then I started to introduce weights. I did mix it up. I tried different variations. I tried seated variations to focus more on the soleus. I tried standing variations to focus more on the gastrocnemius, because I wanted to get a bigger, fuller calf muscle. Okay, so as you can see, there's me here doing some standing calf raises, and I've got some footage of me doing seated ones as well. Yeah, something really important that I totally forgot to mention, I measured my calves on day 1. They were both of them exactly the same, 36 centimeters or 14.1 inches, and that was at the widest point of both calf muscles. And I obviously did a measurement at the end of the 100 days, which I'll get to in a second. So yeah, basically I followed this structured program, progressively overloading, but specifically choosing the fairly low volume, it was more or less kind of one exercise a day. And then about sort of a quarter of the way into the program, I started to implement exercises to target the tibialis anterior, the muscle on the front side, around the front of your shin, because I was also reading, in order to increase that sort of general size around the bottom half of your leg, by training your tibialis anterior, it can also give it that sort of fuller effect. So I started training those. I did find on a couple of occasions that my muscle soreness was pretty bad, and I had to take more than 1 day's rest, which did mess up the program a little bit. However, for the most part, I was training them to the point where they weren't sore enough to not be able to train the next day. That's the one thing you have to take into account when you're doing something like this. Training almost every day for 100 days is that you have to keep the volume and the intensity fairly low, because if you just smash it out too hard, which I made the mistake of doing on a couple of occasions, it messes up the plan. There are days where you have to take rest because the soreness is too much, and it is not a good idea to train on muscles that are already feeling really torn up and sore. So I guess the moment you've all been waiting for is, did it actually have an effect on my calf muscle? So I'm going to put some photos side to side here, and you can be the judge if appearance wise they look any different. I mean, obviously I've been looking at my calves every day while I've been doing this change, and for me, I've not noticed any difference in appearance whatsoever. Maybe if you look really closely, they look slightly more defined, slightly more vascular. That could just be because of increased pump, like blood flow into the area, due to the crazy frequency of me training them. But I measured them on day 100, and they came out exactly the same. Like, it was 36 centimeters, 14.1 inches, pretty much dead on. There wasn't even a millimeter of change. And it made me realize that, like, well, I started thinking things through. I was thinking, was I training them hard enough? But I mean, like, there were days when I was really pushing it. I mean, you can see in some of the footage I'm putting up on the screen, I was pushing heavy weights at points. I was using the Olympic bar, you know, 80 to 100 kilos at some times, really controlled, slow eccentric, trying to really make the most out of every rep, to the point where I was really sore on various occasions throughout these 100 days. But it's made absolutely zero change to the size or the appearance of my calves. And it's made me come to the conclusion that, and I know a lot of people are not going to like this, but calf muscles, it really is almost 75%, maybe even more, down to genetics, right? I'm sure that if I continued to do it, I'd start to see some sort of results. And I obviously appreciate 100 days is probably not a long enough period of time to really see if this works. But I mean, I looked at the results from the other videos, in particular Back Guy, who added almost an inch of size to both of his calf muscles from doing this. And the programs we followed were fairly similar. If anything, at points, mine looked more intense. The sort of volume I was doing looked more than his. I mean, almost the first 50% of his was just entirely bodyweight exercises. I moved on from the bodyweight calf raises by about day 15. So at least 85% of my training was with, you know, additional free weights or barbell, yeah. And I don't know. I guess that my calf muscles just don't respond to low volume, high frequency. It's a shame, really, because I was kind of hoping that I'd finish it and my calves would be a little bit bigger. But I mean, it is what it is, right? You know, I've just come to the conclusion that, like, genetically, some people just naturally have bigger calf muscles. You know, I have heard lots of people say if you do a lot of cycling or a lot of running, it can build the size of your calves. But I mean, as a personal trainer, one of the classes I used to teach at a gym for nearly 3 years was spinning. And sometimes I'd teach 2 classes every single day, every single shift, like high intensity, high resistance cycling, you know, high speed, high resistance cycling, up to 2 times a day for the best part of 2-3 years. And again, it made no difference to the size of my calf muscles. So I don't know. Yeah, anyway, so that is it for the 100-day calf challenge that I tried. I saw absolutely 0 results, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I enjoyed to do it. It wasn't really an inconvenience. It only took a couple minutes, you know, a day to really get it done. But take my advice, don't waste your time bothering to do it, because I just personally think that calves, it comes down to genetics and how lucky you are with your calf genetics, really. Oh, I nearly just dropped my phone and the whole stand that it's sitting on. That was close. Anyway, sorry about that. That is a wrap on today's video, guys. It's been 100 days in the making. for no results. But you know, it is what it is, right? It was good fun. It's done now. I gave it a go. But I probably wouldn't suggest, you know, doing it. It's a little bit of a waste of time. But oh well, you know, it's good to try things out. It's good to give things a go. So thank you again for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate your support. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and the bell notification as well, so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Don't forget to hit like and comment if you enjoyed this video as well. It will help support the channel. And I've got this new goal in mind of 250 subscribers. Okay, we'll hit the 100. Now I want to hit 250 before the end of 2021. So help me get there. Help me hit 250. Then maybe on to 500. Maybe even the big 1,000. We'll have to see. No one knows what the future holds, right? So we'll have to see. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.